Today I am at Supreme Homes in New Brunswick, standing in front of the Porto and Shiraz, both of which are probably on the channel by now. But that's not what this video is about. If you look over that direction, behind the homes, you'll actually see the Supreme Homes factory, and I'm getting a behind the scenes look at how these homes are built and who's building them. If you haven't heard of Supreme Homes, they're a builder located in Tracadie, New Brunswick that have built over 6,000 homes. For those wondering, Atlantic Canada isn't all ocean views, lighthouses, moose, and seafood. It is definitely a large part of it, but they're also out there building some very cool homes. Who knew? I was able to get up in every one of the show homes at their factory, and if they aren't on the channel yet, they will be. So nobody panic, just make sure to tap the subscribe button so you don't miss them. Seeing a home in person is one thing, but only tells part of the story. Getting behind the scenes at the factory and talking to the people running it is a completely different animal. I've been able to see a few factories now, and a trend I'm starting to notice is no two companies do things the same way. Sometimes the differences are small, sometimes they're huge, but there are always differences. The Supreme Homes factory is over 80,000 square feet, and they're finishing about one home per day. If you're sitting there thinking, yeah, well, they probably only build cookie cutter homes to get that kind of output. That simply is not the case. At Supreme, it seems like they don't exactly shy away from a project, and that leads to a very wide variety of builds coming out of their factory. Out front, they have homes from 680 square feet to over 1,500 square feet on display, but that's really just the tip of what they're offering. They've built and will build multifamily homes, hotels, two-story modulars, and that's where things really get interesting. Typically, a two-section home is built in two sections side by side and then delivered to the site and put together there. At Supreme, they build the sections joined together, then take them apart before they leave the factory, before, of course, putting them back together at site. Haven't seen that before. I could go on and on about what I saw at the factory, but it probably makes more sense to hear from the CEO of the company. Here's what he had to say.
We're probably one of the only ones you'll see ever in the factory doing this, but we build the modular home, the two-section home, into one pieces throughout the factory, throughout the process. So everything is built as one, like it will be on site, but then at the end of the line, we'll just open it up and separate it to ship it on the road with two sections. So over here is a two-story home. So this is the first and second part of the main floor. And then on the other side, you've got the two pieces that goes above for the second story. And as you see in the factory, we do all the flooring before. So before the walls are laid down, all the flooring is all installed.
And why did you decide to build them joined together and then separate them before you ship?
On site, it will fit. So if it's fit at the factory, it will fit outside.
That makes sense.
And often you'll see somebody other factory that will build it separate, and on site you'll have to play with it a bit to make it fit. So over here, you know, it's if it's fit at factory, it's foundationed right, it will fit on site.
Does it make it harder to build? Like why is it rare to see it that way?
I'm not sure. I think our backgrounds become as a stick builder, and I think that's why, like, we think that way. I don't know, because to be honest, for us, we always win this way, and
okay.
It's easy because even to finish it, you know, you're able to walk from one side to the other just by walking, because it's as if it's really like the house. So there's not big of a difference. So often people ask us, why is it better to build inside a factory? So there's part of it that definitely is the energy efficient we're able to get in the factory that you won't be able to get on site on a regular build. So over here, if you look at the vapor barrier, it's a continuous vapor barrier throughout the walls. And then over here, it's sealant together. And then even for all the plugs, so if you move here, so you will see we'll add acoustic sealing wherever there's hole, and then there'll be acoustic sealing as well over here, and then we'll tape it. So that way it's pushed on drywalls and it's going to stick there forever.
Okay.
When you put insulation, the same thing. You'll put insulation and you'll press against drywalls. On a stick build, you work from outside in versus us, we build from inside out. So because of that, if you were to try to seal this, you would be pushing toward air, just plastic. So you can't just get as good of air tightness versus a factory build. So this is really a big thing.
All right, I'm here with Robert. He is the CEO of Supreme Homes here in New Brunswick. I'm curious, how did you get into this?
Well, my father started the business in 1983.
Okay.
And in 1990, I was kind of joined the company at the time. And I've been full-time since 1997, and now my son, the third generation, is joining the business as well. So it's a third generation family business.
Very cool. I noticed outside you've got a bit of a variation of different models you offer. How do you balance between innovating and sticking to what you know?
We're always trying to innovate because we feel that this industry is the future and want to show people how the future can be. So we're always trying to innovate to show people like how good the product could be. So we're trying to innovate with new product, but we're also trying to meet the demand. So whatever the people are looking for, we're trying to offer that. But if we're able to show something new and they like it, then it's a bigger winner. So
okay, that makes sense. Now, it's not very often I get to talk to someone with a track record quite as long as yours. So how have you seen this industry change in the last 20 years?
For sure, accessibility is a lot more. People at first 20 years ago, 25 years ago, it was not, people were buying this because of the price. Right. Now people are buying this because of the choice. They want to be built modular. They know it's better. It's better built. It's better quality control. It's all more efficient. It's a one-stop shop. So they're deciding that because that's what they want, not necessarily because what they can afford. It's more than that now. So that's the biggest change throughout the years for sure. Gotcha.
From a design perspective, where do you see this industry going?
I think for sure the multi-housing will be more. I think residential wise we'll do as we do, but probably whatever the market is looking for will be able to help out. But definitely it's the speed that we're offering and the broader product that now is offering it's wider. So we're able to do hotel, apartment building, like a gas station, like all type of those different type of product we're able to do now. So
okay, I had to look at everything you've got out front. You've got the Fjord, you've got the Bali, you've got the Shiraz, and you've got the Porto. Do you have a favorite of everything you've got out there?
That's tough to answer. I've got 2 children. Don't ask me which one of my 2 children I like the best. So.
Okay.
I would say that they all meet certain criteria. If it's for the innovation part of it, of the coolness of it, I think the Fjord is pretty cool.
Okay.
It's it's something that probably around here we never really saw before.
Okay.
I think for price point, the Bali is like it's offering a lot more value with the Bali for sure.
Yep.
Price wise. But the Shiraz and the Porto are just 2 amazing models that it's very, very popular. So
definitely. Yeah. So I want to dig into the Bali just a little bit more because when you look at it from the front and when you go in, it's a completely different story. So could you just elaborate on that a little bit more?
Yeah. So technically it's a single wide unit that we had an addition on it.
Okay.
And I think that when you add that, it gives you a perspective of depthness that you won't see usually in a single wide. So having 2 models put together, it's an hybrid between a mini home and a modular home. So really that's what it is. And yeah, it's very, very popular at the moment for sure.
It's been well received?
Yeah, oh yeah, very much.
So I was about halfway through my tour and I think I'm going to keep it in the video, but I noticed that there's 2 fridges in the Bali. What's the idea behind that?
Well, really, when you think of a mini home or like a single wide or even like a double wide, you don't imagine that a huge kitchen with 2 big island with 2 fridge, walk-in pantry, and all of that. It's not something that first will come to your mind. So we're trying to, just to show something different and to show what's possible out there. So
cool. Now we're going to take a look around the factory and kind of learn a little bit more about your process, but if you could say maybe 1 or 2 things about what separates Supreme from some of the other options available, what would you say?
I think it's the design. We're putting a lot of effort into the design, so all of the, in French we say je ne sais quoi there's a lot of that thing into what we do.
Okay.
So there's a lot of touch that we add to the design, the color selection, the way it's layout, the way it's being divided. So a lot of attention is made to the detail, and I think that's what made the biggest difference with our products. So.
Definitely. Okay, perfect. Thanks for your time.
All right, thank you.
All right. Well, that's it for me here at Supreme Homes. Big thank you to Robert and Jan for showing me around. I hope you enjoyed the behind-the-scenes look at what they're doing out here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.